This is Slippery Road Battles, where fear is not an option, where every mission is a showdown between man, machine, and the unforgiving earth beneath their wheels. No guardrails, no second chances, only precision or collapse. No cranes, no forklifts, just gravity and one bold maneuver. This is coastal logging at full scale, where instead of lifting logs off the barge, they tilt the entire vessel. A calculated lean, a metal groan, and then impact. Hundreds of logs thunder into the river like a wooden avalanche. Fast, violent, precise. This isn't chaos, it's a system. A technique honed over decades to do one thing: move timber fast. These drivers? They weren't just trained, they were forged. Hearts of steel, hands steady as stone. They drive like it's just another Tuesday. But me, watching from the sidelines, my heart nearly stopped. Because when death dances on every curve, only the fearless keep driving. Just a dozen meters from the finish line. Why so unlucky? Do you think this is stupidity or bad luck? Oh my God! He turned his head like a viper entering a hole. Unbelievable. $342 tons of steel. We weren't just moving cargo, we were delivering power, raw, essential, and unforgiving. This transformer, it's worth millions, and it's riding on 20 axles, every one of them depending on our math being perfect. We mapped every turn, measured every bridge, planned every second of this route like lives depended on it, because they did. I've been in this job for 14 years, and this haul, this one kept me up the night before. Then came the moment that shut everyone up. 750 tons of steel, moving, gliding, like it wasn't the heaviest thing any of us had ever seen. I stood there watching, and I'll be honest, my hands were shaking, not out of fear, but because I knew exactly what was holding that monster up. Us, our numbers, our bolts, our judgment. It looked like ballet, but beneath that calm, it was all pressure and pure precision. It's not a freight truck. It's a full-size tourist bus, packed with people looking for a view, but getting an experience they'll never forget. As the bus crawls toward the Needles Tunnel, the gap narrows. Stone walls tighten. Every turn feels like the bus is holding its breath. Inside, silence. No jokes, just wide eyes and white knuckles gripping armrests. One wrong move, and this dream ride turns into a disaster report. Is this driving skill considered excellent? Have you ever seen a driver drive like that? How much should he be paid? Work efficiency is multiplied many times over. It weighs 85 tons, built to sail oceans. But today, it's moving through back streets, dodging power lines, ducking under bridges, and squeezing between homes not built for giants. We measured everything. The height of the power poles, the slant of the village road, even the sharpness of the turns, house to house. At one point, we had less than 10 centimeters between the ship and the power box. One spark, and this whole route goes dark. We weren't just moving a boat. We were threading a needle with 85 tons of steel. This is not a stage, this is a highway. The tow would be impossible. The space was too tight. The angles were wrong. But I knew what I had under me. This wasn't just a truck. This was a Scania S650 V8 with torque so deep I barely had to touch the pedal. I kept the RPM low, steered with 2 fingers, let the tyres do the talking. We pulled that broken rig out without a single jolt, without even scratching the hitch. That wasn't just horsepower, that was precision, patience, and trust. A moment I'll carry with me every time I climb back into that cab. Next stop, not a city, not a factory, but a cathedral carved from the earth. Welcome to the largest marble quarry in the Balkans, Greece. Run for generations by the Biro family. This isn't just industry, it's legacy in motion. Here, they don't dig. They slice through mountains of stone like sculptors with blades of steel. Massive blocks rise like ruins from myth, hauled by trucks that shake the ground beneath them. And in the main yard, those blocks become symmetry. Slabs so precise, they look like they were drawn by architects, not carved from chaos. This place, it's not just a quarry. It's where the world's most dreamed of marble takes its first breath. I thought it was a bus, until the driver turned toward the river. No one screamed, no one even moved. We just watched. The wheels touched water, and instead of sinking, we floated. The chassis lowered, the cabin tilted forward, and the world outside went quiet. It felt like flying, but over water. Like the machine wasn't rolling anymore, but gliding through a dream. No music, no talking. Just the sound of water and the engine breathing. And in that silence, I realized something. This was the most peaceful ride of my life. The Cat D7G missed its line, slipped off the lowboy, and slammed into the ground. Steel on dirt. Weight meets gravity. everything stopped. For a second, nobody moved. Then came the roar. Cat D7E48A rolled in like backup from a war zone. Chains snapped into place. Tension built. The whole frame groaned. And then it rose. Not pulled. It stood, like it had been built to fall hard and rise harder. No trailer, no backup truck, just steel wheels on cold axles, and a driver who doesn't flinch. No straps, no platforms, just control. It looked reckless, it looked insane. But the truth? It was calculated, it was bold, it was pure brilliance disguised as madness. "90 feet of steel. A crane built for lifting, now fighting to turn. Tight curves, barely a breath between the tyres and the guardrails. One wrong flick of the wheel, and it's over. But the driver? Calm, focused, almost floating. He threads the monster through like a circus act on steel. Graceful and terrifying. Moments like this make you pause. Is it training? Is it instinct? Or maybe, just maybe, it's the fear of what happens if you get it wrong. Everyone was pulling, shouting, fighting the slope. The truck was inches from safety. One more tug, and it'd be out. But then, snap! The cable gave up. Steel recoiled. Hope vanished. The truck tumbled out of sight, swallowed by gravity. Gone. And the driver, frozen, silent, staring at the void where his machine used to be. The slopes at Nax. They don't forgive. They don't care how tough your machine is. Some climb past 45 degrees, a wall disguised as a road. And even the Light Wolf, with monster tracks, military-grade grip, and raw torque like thunder, still needs a lifeline. A cable, bolted to its frame. Not for looks, but for survival. Because on Nax, one slip is all it takes to trade steel for wreckage, where his machine used to be. Oh my God, who created this well in the middle of the road? When you're hauling 211 tons of steel, there's no margin, no guesswork, no second try. Every inch, every turn has to be exact. Because out here, precision isn't a luxury. It's not even a skill. It's the only thing standing between success and catastrophe. The tougher the terrain, the smarter you have to be. Some roads punish power. Some hills demand more than muscle. They demand strategy. That's why on flats, one engine is enough. But on a 20-degree climb, you bring 3. Not because you're weak, but because you're wise. Straight roads reward speed. Slopes test your control. Every load has its own equation. Is this rescue or disaster? Please tell me. This is the most professional rescue team I have ever met. He's Silver Spade, not a machine, a monster. Born in the 1950s, built for one purpose, to rip the earth wide open and feed a nation's hunger for coal. It didn't dig, it devoured. Its twin, the GEM of Egypt. Together, they ruled the coalfields, two steel giants in an age of raw power. There was hope to turn the Spade into a museum, a $2.6 million tribute to engineering's golden era. But in 2007, they tore it down. Not because it broke, but because its time was over. Legends don't always die in battle. Sometimes they just fade into memory. Pulling logs isn't just muscle, it's choreography. Weight, balance, rhythm. Every move counts. These teams, they don't just pull wood, they orchestrate movement. But somewhere in the silence between chains and engines, a question lingers. If we keep cutting like this, if trees fall faster than they rise, how long before the forest is just a memory? Dutchman Creek Dairy. A silo stands tall, silent, stoic, but not for long. One excavator takes its time, carving weakness into the base. The second, it doesn't hesitate. One push, a pause, then gravity takes over. The fall is clean. No panic, no chaos, just collapse. With surgical precision, not demolition, execution. The BB63000. It once roared across the rails, a steel thunder ripping through wind and time. But now, it doesn't move by choice. It rides low, not on rails, but on a trailer, stripped of pride, pushed, not driven. Every foot forward is a goodbye, a slow descent into retirement. It's heading for repairs, a second life. But deep down, we all feel it. The legend is fading. And somehow, we wish the journey was just a little bit longer. And just like that, we've reached the end of today's video. If these moments had you on the edge of your seat or gave you an adrenaline rush, don't hesitate to smash that like button and make sure to hit subscribe so you won't miss any of the thrilling stories coming up next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.